Congressman, I know you've been a leader in protecting Medicare. Talk to us a little bit about where we are in the House now. And you know, I, as a person that gets in front of the Social Security judges every once in a while, the House Oversight Committee and 2020 to a greater degree have done a terrible disservice to the average person in the United States, because they made it seem like everybody who applies for Social Security is some kind of fraud. And nothing could be further from the truth. I see people with cancer. I see people that have had horrible, horrible cardiovascular problems being turned down because it's become so difficult to meet what our judges now feel is important. And I see decision after decision after decision where judges look at a person and say that they don't believe they're credible. And that's just wrong.
Well, you're right, Todd. There has been a concerted campaign to vilify people getting Social Security disability benefits. It's sad. But they're capitalizing on, you know, this sort of dog bites man, man bites dog. Man bites dog gets the headline. So if you know anybody who knows somebody who got caught redoing his or her roof while they're drawing Social Security disability benefits, that's the thing you remember. You forget about the 99.5% of people who are drawing those benefits and they're legitimately entitled to those benefits.
And they paid for those benefits. This isn't a program that they've got their hand out for the government. They just say, give me my money back now that I need it.
It's not a handout. And in fact, the General Accountability Office has proven that the fraud rate in Social Security disability claims is less than 0.5%. So compare, you know, I want to do a pie chart or a graph chart of here's 0.5%, and here, you know, it reaches to the ceiling with the 99.5%. And it's a classic example of trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We have all of these deserving citizens who paid into the system and are entitled to their benefits, and now being jeopardized by the right-wing bomb throwers that I call them the shutdown crowd, the people that like to shut down the government to protest anything the government does.
You know, we're still fighting the fight that began in 1932 and 1933 when Franklin Delano Roosevelt said we need something like Social Security. It's the same people that are trying to do away with Social Security and Medicare. It's outrageous.
Yeah. Now, Social Security retirement benefits is also a big topic. If you combine the disability and retirement benefits people in northeastern Pennsylvania, in my district, we bring in $1.8 billion a year to northeastern Pennsylvania just in Social Security benefits checks. I knew that, and I vowed to fight for those benefits as long as I'm in the Congress. The first fight you wouldn't have expected. I was out protesting the Democratic President of the United States within 4 months of my election because he was doing something called chain CPI, which is a $50 expression that means your cost of living increases will be less than they have been before. Look, Todd, people that are existing on Social Security retirement benefits, again, it's not a handout, it's an insurance program they paid into. On average, they're getting $1,305 a month. And something like a third of them in northeastern Pennsylvania who are getting those benefits, that's their sole support. That's their sole source of income. $1,305 a month. These people are not living high on the hog, and cutting them or reducing their COLA increases is not my plan. In fact, I'm a proud co-sponsor of Congressman John Larson out of Connecticut. He and I have introduced the Social Security 2100 Act, which is going to increase benefits if it passes. It's also going to reduce the taxation. You know, Social Security retirement benefits are taxable if you're in the right tax bracket. We're going to give tax relief to them, and we're also going to adjust the cap. Right now, if you make over $117,000 a year, you stop paying FICA taxes. We're going to adjust that so that if you make between $117,000 and $400,000, you still don't pay in, but it kicks in again after $400,000. So that, you know, these people who really aren't going to miss those contributions are going to be paying in. People making over $400,000 and all the way up to 1%, we're going to have them pay in, and that's going to make Social Security solvent for many, many years to come.
And that is such a simple fix.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, we as a nation have been so afraid to put any tax burden on the super wealthy. It's just a fact.
But you talk about the disability program. Their plan, the people really want to privatize Social Security. They want to make it part of the stock market, and they want to endanger, really, the corpus of what's in the Social Security Trust Fund. What their plan is, they're trying to divide and conquer, and they're going after the disability recipients first. Figure we'll privatize that part, and then we'll come after the retirees. It's not right.
You're also a member of Congress that has really gone out of your way to reach across the aisle. How caustic is our Congress today, and how do we solve that problem so that we cooperate with each other?
It was brought home to me very forcefully by a lot of people when I ran for Congress that we don't want you to go down there and just throw political bombs. We've had enough of that. They act like fourth graders in a food fight half the time down there, and Americans are sick of it, and I am too. And yeah, there's some caustic people on the other side of the aisle, but you kind of learn how to maneuver around them and find the people that are reasonable. There are a lot of great progressive, reasonable Republicans that I'm happy to work with. And a lot of that's on me, and I realize that. I have to make the effort to get to know these people, break the ice with your sense of humor. Or, here in northeastern Pennsylvania, we have an abundance of humanity and friendliness, and I try to bring that to Washington, and it's paying off. In fact, the last Congress, I had more bipartisan supported bills than any other Democrat in the House. Oh. So you work at it, you can get there.
You're to be congratulated for that, for sure. And your speaker, or your majority leader now, Nancy Pelosi, I met at a party that you had out in San Francisco, and Gary Peters whispered in my ear when she walked into your party, "Oh my God, Nancy is here. She never goes to any congressman's party." Well, but she made it very clear to everybody there that she has a special place in her heart with the Lynott family and the folks from northeastern Pennsylvania.
Well, that's right. Actually, she was instrumental in bringing Joe Biden here for the Irish dinner a few weeks ago. So, I enjoy working with Nancy and so many of the longtime Democrats in the House, including Representative John Lewis, who was there on Bloody Sunday 50 years ago.
When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about John Lewis, because he's a fascinating person and a really courageous person. So please stay tuned to You Be the Judge.
Have you been denied Social Security benefits? You can appeal. If you are disabled and if you have been paying taxes, you've earned your rights to your Social Security benefits. Call O'Malley and Langen. And remember, we don't get paid unless you win.
I'm Todd O'Malley with the law offices of O'Malley and Langen. If I say accident, what do you think? Car crash? Falling down the steps? Unexpected events. People don't realize most of these accidents aren't really accidents. They're injuries caused by careless third parties. So if you've been hurt at work, call O'Malley and Langen. 1-800-817-COMP. 1-800-817-2667. Welcome back to You Be the Judge. Just before the break, you brought up the name of Congressman John Lewis, and I've read a little bit about him, and he spoke immediately before Dr. King, the day that he delivered the I Have a Dream speech. And the story is that they asked him to please tone his speech down a little bit, but he didn't do it.
He is as fiery a speaker even today at the age of 75 as he was 50 years ago. And what they said about John Lewis, Todd, you've been around brave people, and you've had a bunch on your show here, and people that really had to screw up their courage to do the things that they've done in their lives. I haven't met many people braver than John Lewis. He was arrested 24 times during the freedom marches. He had his head split open at least 4 times by police batons, where he needed stitches, and there was blood everywhere, and he was unconscious. He was widely recognized as the bravest of the freedom marchers, and he was in fact, I told you about the TV footage of the Bloody Sunday. You can see him, if you go back, you can find it on YouTube or something, you can see him actually being thrown by the Alabama State Troopers. That is a brave, brave man, and I'm so proud to be serving alongside him in the U.S. House.
And not only is he a great leader in civil rights, but in all of the work of Congress that involves helping people.
That's what he's all about. John Lewis he's been in Congress, I think, since about 1980. And you know, one of the stories that he told us was that he met one of his attackers years later, came to his office in the Congress and introduced himself and apologized, and John Lewis forgave him and embraced him, and both men were crying.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Congressman, I can't thank you enough for sharing your Sunday morning with us, and for the great things you do for the people of northeastern Pennsylvania and all across America. Keep up the good work.
Thank you,
Thank
Todd.
you. And thank you for sharing your Sunday morning with us on You Be the Judge.
Hi, I'm James Graham, coming to you today from the Country Club of Scranton, home of this year's Voluntary Action Center's Run for the Roses Kentucky Derby Party on May 2nd. And I'm pleased and honored to have been chosen this year's celebrity chairperson.
Whoa, celebrity?
Yeah,
Seriously?
celebrity chairperson.
I'm not sure about that.
Cut. I am pleased and honored to have been chosen to be this year's chairperson for the event.
Whoa. Co-chair. There's 3 of us this year.
There's 3 of us.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
wasn't aware of
yourself, myself, and John, Dr. John Stevens.
Is he a doctor?
Chiropractor.
No, it's not
No,
doctor.
no.
Sherry, it's Jim Graham. We just want to get the co-chair situation straight. What is that you need? Oh, she wants us to be spokesmodels.
Oh, yeah.
We could do
all
that.
the way.
I was a model all over the globe in
You
my
were a
early
model?
20s. Yeah, the Globe store downtown.
Oh, God. Okay, right.
Spokesmodels.
I'm not feeling this.
You're lucky this is for charity.
Absolutely.